Here's why punishing your dog never gets them to stop what they're doing. All right? Dogs learn by something called associative learning. Basically, it's a giant if then statement. If this happens, then that. If I feel hungry, then I eat. Right? If I feel thirsty, then I drink. That's it. Right? And the result, right? I drink, I'm no longer thirsty. Okay, so every time I'm thirsty, I'm going to drink and then I will not be thirsty anymore. Right? There's 3 steps to it. It's super simple. All right, you've heard of Pavlov's dogs. Ring the bell, mouth waters. That's it. There's nothing more to it. There's no thought process. It's just if then. If the bell rings, then the dog's mouth waters. And that's because something happened, right? So let's break this down. Something happens, dog does something, dog gets something, and they always get something. Something always happens, the dog always does something, and the dog always gets something. So my favorite one is when people are walking by your back door, or not your back door. When they're walking by your fence or they come to the front door, it's the delivery guy, right? Okay, well, what's going on? Well, someone is coming onto your dog's property. It's where they live. It's their stuff, you know? And so what do they do in response? Well, there's an intruder and I'm a pack animal, not a social creature, not a primate. I'm a pack animal. So if a person comes up, I need to get rid of them because they're not part of my pack. And then they always leave, right? Amazon guy doesn't stay. People that walk by your fence on the walking trail, they don't stay. They always leave. That means that every time that thing happens and your dog barks, the person goes away. And they go through this loop all on their own, right? Something happens, dog does something, dog gets something. Now, the output is my favorite part because it's the likelihood the action is repeated, right? So when we define output is the likelihood that the action will be repeated, and we let the dog bam, bam, bam. And they've already decided this is the thing that I need to do. It feels good. It gets me what I want, right? You get dopamine. Well, what happens when you want the dog to do something different? Right? You don't want him to do this. Well, the thing is something is going to happen, right? The person is gonna walk by. That doesn't change. Something always happens. And then your dog will do something. And it's your job to tell the dog whether or not that something is a thing they should be doing because they get something out of it. Right? Now, the thing is you can get punished, right? But it doesn't mean that the punishment is greater than the reward that they've built for themselves. And the best way for a being that, again, learns by association is to replace what they do. That's it. That's all you have to do is replace what they do. You can't stop it. Like, that's the thing. You can't stop the dog from doing something. Something will happen. It always happens. The dog will do something. They always do. Sorry. You're living with a sentient creature, right? So we need to change what they do, and we change that by changing what they get when they do something, right? But when you look at the person that walks away, the dog always gets the person to walk away, right? They bark, the person goes away. So you have to teach them that when people walk by, they need to do something different to get a greater reward than just the person going away. That's it. That's the only way you can do it. You can't punish this because they get what they want no matter what. You can you can punish your dog to Sunday. They don't. It doesn't work because they got what they wanted. The person went away. Oh, this person's being mean to me now. All you're doing is shredding your own relationship with your dog. That's it. You just put that through a cheese grater, and the dog is still doing the thing. Interesting, huh? So if you want to change the outputs, well, shoot, where was that? We just did that video the other day with inputs. Where does the input go? I believe the input goes right here, right? Because the dog does something, and then you get to judge it, right? You either like it, or you don't care, or you don't like it. And then the dog will get something. Dog always gets something. Something always happens. Dog always does something. Those are 3 things you can't change, right? So then you take your judgment and you decide, is the something they did something I like, something I don't like, or something I don't care about? And if you don't care and you choose to do nothing, you're abdicating responsibility, right? Because the dog will put itself through its own loop right back down to here. And it will choose if you choose this and you choose to do nothing. So we change the input, which happens right here. The dog gets something, right? And depending on what they do, they will get something different. And that's all. You just change what they do by giving them something different. But you can't punish them to make that happen. It doesn't work like that because they're going to self-reinforce, right? Your dog who sits on the end of the leash barking at other dogs, they're getting what they want out of it. When your dog is pulling on leash, they're getting what they want out of it. I watched a lady get hauled by like 200 pounds of dogs on choke chains. She's punishing them. I mean, put prong collar on me. I'm not going anywhere, you know? But pulling for these dogs was just more rewarding than the punishment. That's it. She tried to punish the behavior instead of rewarding the stuff she wanted to see. And that's why her output was what it was. And that's why your output is not going to be the same as hers. So follow this. 3 steps. It's very simple. You got it. You got it.